See this guy here? He has never seen FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, there it is. Oh, thank you.
Join me, C-Tactics.
Yeah, and I think that's
And he, Satsuki the Savage.
I'll support.
As we go through each episode of FullMetal Alchemist as a total newbie. This is the King of Anime podcast's first watch through of FMA Brotherhood. And seeing as this is a new series, we set up a challenge for you. Can you get this video to 10 likes and 3 new subscribers? Let's jump in.
Well, I just want to briefly say this. This is the true first episode of FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood. The first episode was filler. What's his name? McDougley. Yeah. McDougley?
Isaac McDouble.
McDouble? Yeah, Isaac McDouble was an original character, so he was not in the manga. I said, where's the pickles?
Still no pickles.
I hated that guy.
Bubble bass. Yeah.
But yeah, the first episode was anime original. It still has its purpose because I think it actually ties in well to the series. But this is the proper first episode of FullMetal Alchemist Brotherhood, and it kind of shows with what it covers. So basically, I mean, this is the origin story of Ed and Al, why they came to be where they are in the military.
Yeah. And I think that's if anyone here is familiar with FMA or has seen it, that is exactly why this was a hard episode to watch. EA, I know you have seen the original, so you probably know something about this. But were you shocked at all?
Funny. Thinking back on this one, I remember, and this takes me way back, when they were introducing the first FMA on Toonami. And I think this was one of the first things you ever saw. And it got me so hyped for the series that I said, I want to watch it, where there's not a word that's spoken. If I find that TV spot, I'll post it, but it's perfect. There's no words spoken. You can tell exactly what's happening without even having to understand. It's universal. The mother, and then you see, them looking at the stone, and then you see them drawing the transmutation circle, and then you just see the happy glee looking in Edward's face, and then just the despair, and then the limbs flying off, and then the brother getting engulfed with hands and just pulled down, and then it just goes, FullMetal Alchemist premieres tonight. And I said, I want to watch that. I want to watch that. And I thought it was just brilliant. And it reminded me of that from 2003, which is when it first aired. And the same feelings were back, except it looked a lot nicer. It looked a lot more detailed and whatnot. But that was kind of like my first reaction to it.
So I guess we should now just start at the beginning. Apparently, there is Edward and Al are out on assignment. They're trying to find some sort of priest who is using some sort of philosopher's stone, which is a pretty legendary and kind of mythical stone item in the world of FullMetal Alchemist, because this philosopher's stone is believed to do anything, and may be the key to getting the body back of Ed and Al. So we'll see. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. But what do you guys think about this philosopher's stone, especially you, EA?
Well, I want to chime in a little briefly. So them thinking that this priest is using the philosopher's stone in of itself shows you something about their character, because how the rumor starts, or what Al presents to Ed, is that there's a priest somewhere that is performing miracles. And it's not, they don't explicitly say it in this episode, but Ed immediately thinks that he's using the philosopher's stone, which goes to show you they don't think that, somebody can perform miracles because they're blessed or anything like that. They're thinking of it just in science terms. How the hell can he do this? Philosopher's Stone, of course. So yeah, that's a little, cool. You get like a little cool character trait that isn't overtly in your, it's not in your face, but it's really good with the subtle storytelling when it comes to the characters, their actions.
There's a moment like that later in the flashback that I want to talk about that people kind of have speculated about for years. But yeah, do you think this Philosopher's Stone can actually do what it's foretold to do? Do you think it's an actual item that will help them get their limbs and their bodies back?
I mean, right now it's just kind of, I wouldn't say a myth. It's just a what's the way of putting it? Like a folklore, like a story, like something, like a hope, I guess, is the way that you would look at it. The Philosopher's Stone, there's many different incarnations of it and whatnot through story and folklore, but it does represent, life and because hell, even in Harry Potter, they had the fucking, not the Sorcerer's Stone, but in England, it was the Philosopher's Stone, and that's what Voldemort used to try to get himself to come back to life. So, if anything, but again, there's been many different tellings of it. There's some where it actually works, and some where it's not a stone and it can't bring you back to life. It's more of a, you use it and you're invincible or something. I don't know, but I think in their minds, if anything's worth a shot, they're gonna take it, but they just don't know where to find it. As Edward said, he's like, where the hell do we find it?
Yeah, it's kind of like they have no other choice but to try to find it, because their world of just alchemy, having knowledge, they were pretty brilliant kids, and still what happened to them happened. So they had to rely on this mythical item basically to restore their bodies, because that's the only thing that they have left.
Yeah, it's their last shot to reverse the actions that they would eventually do. We're going to talk about here in a second, but I also think as well, to add on to that, from just a government perspective, a military perspective, you cannot allow people to run around with Philosopher's Stones. So if there is any, if this legend is true, and there are Philosopher's Stones being used, you would have to think that those people would become kind of like number one priority to take out, to find.
True. Very dangerous item.
Very, very dangerous. It is basically the equivalent of a weapon of mass destruction, essentially. But, sorry, EA?
No, I was just saying that's crazy.
It is, yeah.
Also, I found the promo. I put it in the chat for you guys.
Oh, cool.
I can't believe I found it.
Yeah, I think
it looks old as fuck.
I think I remember that promo from way back when, but because I used to watch Toonami around that era too. But let's go ahead and get into the flashback, because the flashback is, when I was watching it last night in my Discord server, I was like, by the end of it, I was like, this is incredible. This entire episode was directed phenomenally. They showed everything perfectly. The animation was clever. They used some really awesome tricks with the animation throughout this flashback and its two separate segments to, in my opinion, enhance just everything about the whole thing with alchemy and DNA and all that stuff. But so we get a flashback to 10 years ago in Rezimbul, which, by the way, I always love the names of the towns and the places in this series. It's always very distinct. And it turns out that Ed and Al are sort of proteges. And they have their mother who takes care of them because their father is constantly away. What do you guys think about their relationship with their mother and their kind of home life?
Sweet, wholesome. Father's a deadbeat. Like he's not around, and that seems to be the trope with all fathers in animes. It seems like, oh, I'm just away, way on business. The kids are at home, and now they're really alone. God, buying a pack of smokes, getting that bread, getting that milk. Yeah, it's
or doing some sort
It's
of
a long line.
experiment.
A long line.
It's a long line. Yeah, I'll say everybody's dad is in there getting the same milk. But
Milk.
it must be. But yeah, it's nice up into the father part. Hell, the dad couldn't even to see his own wife back at home when she died to like pay his respects or anything.
Yeah,
Just yeesh.
they're very resentful, and they don't like their father because of that.
There better be something holding him back to not come back home. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if it's just one of those, oh, sorry, I didn't fit into my memo.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Child support.
Dang.
Oh, so he's just afraid of having to pay. Who's he gonna be paying now?
Oh no.
Who's he gonna pay?
Mr. Plow.
Being headed out? I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, what are you, 10? And you're 11? You guys are practically adults now. Later. Jesus.
Well, you performed human transmutation. You're an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of which, it almost kind of reminds me of Pet Sematary. What you put in the ground ain't what comes back out. So the same could be said when you try to bring a person back from the dead through through transmutation. What you originally thought your mother was ain't gonna be what comes back. And the crazy thing is, as fucked up as it is, I feel like that was the mother, but not mentally her. You know what I mean? Like, it's the mother, but just like a monster.
See,
Well,
Some weird creation.
that's one of the topics I wanted to bring up, and something that has been discussed in the FMA community for years. And I'm not sure if there's some answer to it or not. There could be. But when they actually, I guess, summon or bring back their mother, did you notice she reaches out towards them and then and dies?
Yeah.
So it had a mind, whatever it was. Do you think that was it reaching out because it saw its children? Or do you think that was just a reflex?
Just some monster.
I'm of the personal belief. I think they summoned a monster. I think when they put together everything, when they list all the ingredients of the human body, they're bringing back the flesh and bone of their mother. But the one thing they never accounted for, which it makes sense from their perspective, because they're alchemists, they're thinking of things in science terms. They forgot about the soul. And that's not a tangible entity that you could make up with a whole bunch of different ingredients and compounds or anything like that. So when they bring their mother back, it's not their mother in the sense that I don't think it has their mother's conscience. I think it just has the husk of her mother. And whatever is giving it life is something entirely different.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'm of the mind as well, where I think it's the body, it's not the mind, and if it is the mind, it's definitely not the soul. It's definitely a monster that isn't the mother, but it's the body for sure. That's what they got, even though it's this monster and disturbing and gross and everything else. But I agree, the soul is the one important thing that's missing from it, and it's not quite the mother, but it could have been reaching out because it saw, and maybe it had like a few seconds left to live before it died, and maybe could have been.
It was the mother trying to choke Ed out for drawing on her floor. Boy, what the fuck you did to my floor?
What did I tell you about drawing in the house? Look at this mess you made with my intestines.
You know what they should have done if they wanted to get her soul back? They should have went to the record store, picked up some records.
Oh my god.
Soul records, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god. I was wondering where you were going with that.
I mean, it
I'm a
works.
soul man.
I'm a soul man.
But I do like after when their mother died, the first person to come and try to comfort them was Winry. And Winry throughout this entire episode, I feel like she's gotten like the short end of the stick out of all of the kids.
Is that an insult? Call me short? The fuck?
Oh my bad.
Subatomic. Subatomic shrimp. But
I mean, she straight up just called him a midget. I'm so surprised.
He's 11, and you're gonna call him.
you get at a growth spurt. You never know.
Well, we now know why he didn't grow. He didn't drink his fucking milk.
Yeah.
Only his dad was around
But
to give him that milk.
that's why he was going. He's trying to get the milk.
EA just cracked the code.
Wow.
That's why it's short.
Yo,
Yep.
yeah, you got to make an essay, a 5-hour essay.
Why is Edward Elric short? Let me break down 5 possibilities, but the last one's going to be the answer. People just skim right to the end because he didn't drink his fucking milk.
Father forgot to bring home the milk.
Father brought home the cigarettes, just not the milk.
Like all the comments are just gonna say video starts at 4 hours 59 minutes
And
40
what the hell?
seconds.
There's like a 2-hour section where it's just you sleeping.
And then you break that analysis down as somehow further proof. This was horrible.
This is the
Do
worst
another one.
video ever.
I loved it. No, but I think Winry is very interesting in a lot of this because she's kind of almost in a way the punching bag for the brothers after going through all they've done through. Like they always talk down to Winry. They always kind of bully her and rub dirt in her eyes and treat her, just kind of like not like an afterthought, but yeah, I think kind of just as like a pincushion of sorts. And
Edward made fun of her because she was a gearhead.
yeah, well, which by the way, later gets payback when she almost kills Ed with a wrench. So that's fun, but comes out of
We
nowhere.
had to, at some point, we have to make a power scaling video of shonen women when it comes to gags. Like,
Yeah,
when it comes to like hitting the strong man gag.
Winry, Chi-Chi, Bulma.
Not Nami. Like Nami,
Yeah,
like
Nami.
beat the
Nami.
shit out of Luffy multiple times.
Yeah.
Nami
That
has
is true.
strangled and tried to drown Luffy.
What about in Naruto? Is Sakura
Oh,
pretty
Sakura.
powerful?
Oh yeah, gag Sakura is crazy.
Is she?
Gag Sakura she used to have like an alter ego.
Yeah, crazy. She
Hmm.
was crazy. And didn't she have like some like hammer or something at one point? Or am I thinking of some other character?
Are you thinking of Amy from Sonic?
I don't know.
I was going to say no more.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess you could say Nobara is sort of a gag character. Her whole entire writing was just one gigantic joke.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
There it is. Oh, thank you.
I'll be here all night.
You know who else is a joke? That fucking blonde girl that had a flying centipede. She came in and didn't do fucking shit, and the world fucking got destroyed and covered in demons. Oh, God. I hate that show. Sorry.
But yeah, I even though they kind of bully her at the same time, I think it shows there's like a healthy dynamic between everyone in the family because, yeah, even the grandmother, calls him a subatomic shrimp and a midget. Probably not the thing you want to call a child, but when you look
just
at
lost his mother.
Yeah, but that's what makes it work. It's a healthy release of angst. It's a healthy release of that pent up energy, and it allows them to sort of take their mind off of what they're actually going through, and at least for a moment, just get in like a harmless argument about their size or whatever it may be. Like it to me, I think some people would view this as kind of like an unhealthy family in like a funny way. I don't know, because it's like shown through comedy, but I think that's the point, is that they are a healthy family because they can be this way with one another and still love each other.
Yeah, I mean, I always took it as like family banter, like even like amongst friends, because they're family in a sense that they care for one another, not that they're related or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing with friends, I might call C-Tat this a piece of shit bastard, and he won't really take offense to it because I'm his friend. Now, if a random person did that to him, then he'll, of course, take offense to it. But,
and I will take offense for him. I'll be like, hey, who are you to call C-Tactics a piece of shit? That's our job.
I'll say to EA, shut up, whore!
You asshole.
Oh. I think I fucked up.
It's okay.
Don't worry. I'm the. Can we say that word?
The what?
Can we say the W whore word? W whore?
We said worse. I think.
Yeah. I think somebody says something about a coin slot or something.
Oh, I don't have presidential immunity.
Well, actually, you do.
Okay, so can I?
You have to say it's an official act.
Is slut worse or better?
Whore or slut?
I think slut.
I think slut's worse.
I feel like it's worse.
Slut as like if you're calling someone a slut in a derogatory or like as a pejorative. Yeah,
it's like something that you say whenever you sneeze. Go ahead.
But I think if you identify, because I know there are people before who have like, yeah, I'm slutty.
I've also heard like, men specifically say like I'm a man whore, and it doesn't carry the same connotations that you.
Yeah. Other men sluts.
No.
Okay. I'd say it's slut's worse.
Man, I'm a slut.
There you go.
You're our slut. See, you're our slut. Take that as you will.
Decrepit Storm says, as long as you don't say simp. Fuck!
Yeah. Well, demonetized.
Yep. Pack it in.
Yeah, speaking of
been nice.
I like when they're kind of like walking away or whatever, going back to their home or whatever it is. Winry's like, hey, we're gonna have some stew later. You should come over. And of course, Al's like,
stew.
Heck yeah, stew, or whatever it is. But there's actually an outtake of this scene where the VA for that says, fuck yeah, stew. And it's so hilarious.
They should have kept that in there.
I almost wanted to like get it as like a soundboard as a surprise, but I forgot. So
there's something that you need to create a soundboard of, but I'll tell you when we talk about it later in the podcast.
Too shy boy?
No. I'll tell you when it happens.
What I always found interesting, and I don't know if this, I guess I'll ask the question just because of, I find it kind of intriguing. When they do the human transmutation for their mother, I always found it interesting that Al lost his entire body, but Ed only lost his left leg initially. The reason I find that interesting because I'm like, why are the prices so lopsided? Obviously, from a story perspective, Ed needed to bring back Al. So, okay. But I'm thinking it from the sense of, why did Al lose his whole body? Like, why was the price for him to lose his whole body, but Ed to lose his left leg? If we're supposed to think of the whole thing of equivalent exchange, because that was brought into our, into our minds. When we saw the, they call, the God or whatever, truth, when he sees the entirety of the world, he understands the truth of the world, he tries to go back in there. He's like, nope, you pay the price for one leg. And then I'm like, okay. But then Al's like, nope, give me your whole body. What? Huh?
I mean, it's kind of weird when you really think about it. And freaking Al didn't even know the secrets to transmutation after that, and his whole body was fucking taken.
Yeah.
Edward took his whole leg, and he kind of had a gist of it. He was like, "Okay, I think I get it. Put me through again." Nope, that's one leg. Got to go again if you want. You gotta do the other leg.
Yeah. I always found it interesting because I don't think the story ever gives you a reason as to why that is. I can kind of headcanon it and say that Al and Ed paid the price collectively. And what the price collectively was a body and a leg. Meaning that if one of them did it by themselves, even if it was Ed, he would have lost his entire body because he tried to do it. But because it was, performed with the two of them, no matter how lopsided it ended up being, the price was it was that great for someone to lose their body. And it just so happened that Ed got the best of it by just losing a leg.
Yeah. That's gotta be a pretty shitty situation though. Ed, you only lost your leg and your arm. I lost my whole fucking body. And I'm on this goddamn metal of armor, and I can't eat anything anymore. So I don't want to hear you ever complain about anything ever.
It's a good leg.
It's a good leg. That one leg is just like...
You know what I was thinking when I was watching that? I was thinking this.
Yeah. We gotta get
So,
the
like,
leg.
if your leg is stronger, is it worth more? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, because when he got his brother back, he lost his arm. So it's like, one leg will buy you all the knowledge in the world of transmutation, whatever. To bring somebody back, at least their soul, onto an inanimate object, that's an arm. So what if he did it backwards?
Me.
I'm kind of thinking of what everybody would lose if they... Because I don't know if it's based on the potential of said body part or whatever it may be, or if it's based on, like, how you cherish it. So I'm thinking, like, if I did human transmutation, I'm probably losing all my hair. It'd be like,
no.
you give a fuck about your hair? That's your treasured prize?
I could just... They just take the one side, so you just have this side that's
Well, now I gotta do it again. So
you gotta even it out. But instead, they don't take your hair; they just take your your arm. You're like, what the fuck? I wanted you to take my hair. Now I'm a one-arm, one-sided hair goofy motherfucker.
What would be funny is if like you're walking, down the street one day and you run into the guy that got your hair in your leg, like it was just transported to a random person.
He's just looking at you. They gave it to me. That's okay.
They asked me what I wanted. I said, surprise me. And this is what I got.
Sorry, bro. I don't make the rules.
I will say, I loved the sequence, when they were actually going through that horrific thing. And it showed like the memories replayed in these clips, which then spiraled into DNA. I thought that was really interesting because a lot of people say like DNA and genetics are like
building blocks of life.
Building blocks of life and like history, like genetic history passed down, through generations, memories, some would say.
Decrepit Store brings up a great point. If that suit of armor wasn't there, what was Al going to be bound to?
A pair of shorts.
Oh, no. Hey, Al.
Hello, big brother.
Oh, no.
How you doing? Oh, you my boxers? Yes. Fucking kill me.
Now I want to know why that suit of armor was there in the first place.
What was it?
Who
What
wore that?
For? Yeah. Was that his, Edward's dad? Was it just... Oh.
It's like family
What, random... That's been passed down from generations.
My grandpappy wore this armor into the metal armor wars.
You're lying. You stole that off somebody.
You're right, I did.
Yeah.
I took this one side of their hair and their arm too. You'll need it later, don't ask.
Wait, what?
I think the super interesting part came after the human transmutation, where Roy comes into the picture, because he shows how much of an important character he was in Ed and Al's life, because he goes there hearing a rumor of this brilliant alchemist, and then he sees the aftermath of the human transmutation. Ed has an arm and leg missing. Al is in a fucking suit of armor, and he knows what they did. And Ed looks broken, at least from the viewer's perspective, because we get some later. But, still Roy tries to extend a hand to Ed and say, if you want your bodies back, join the military, try to get some information, and make the best of the situation. Because either you do that, or you sit here and you wallow in remorse and despair and self-pity, and you stay as you are. And that's the choices that Ed had before him. And then on the other side too, with Winry, I thought that was super impactful too. She talked about how the military took away, everybody important to her, which that was a bombshell in of itself. She told us that at this period, her parents died, which we knew because there's a gap in time. There's a gap in time in between where their mother initially dies, and at least from their knowledge, they think that Winry's parents are alive at that point, because they tease Winry about her crying whenever her parents had to go off on, military duties. So they tease her about that when their mother dies. And then later on, Winry outright says, my parents are dead. So her parents died in between that time, which again, that goes to show you, like, it's not really subtle, but when you read in between the lines, it's great storytelling because they tell you so much without explicitly stating certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good storytelling. Sometimes some things, not everything has to be just explained and just multiple dialogue paragraphs or whatever. Sometimes some things can be as simple as I don't know, a look or even as a vibe, or you just going, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Just
like
put two and two together.
yeah, you put the onus on the audience to kind of piece things together instead of Winry herself saying, "My parents died April 2010."
They both had stab wounds in their hearts, and I cried.
Yeah, Tatsuki
Yeah.
Fujimoto is the master of that, so he's very good at that. Like literally, there was a chapter he came out with in Chainsaw Man that had no dialogue in it. Zero. None.
Inside Mary?
No, he said Fujimoto's.
No, I know, but Inside Mary had those scenes where there was literally no dialogue,
yeah,
and it was
it had
just
that
manga.
No,
Yeah.
he does that a lot. He did that with Blood on the Tracks.
Oh,
I always think it's cool when you like you have to figure it out yourself. It's really nice.
Remind me, but I want to show you a chapter just like that in Citrus. I know, like Citrus isn't a series when you bring
do
up.
I want to see this?
No, it's actually good. It's so good though. It's one of the best chapters of Citrus.
Is it this one?
No,
And then the phone goes right through.
no, that's not it. It's so good, EA. You don't understand.
All right, I'll look.
We gotta talk about it.
Okay.
Winry kills Ed with a wrench.
No, we talked about that.
Yeah, I thought we talked about.
Hold on, I forgot to mention something. EA, if you can dodge a wrench, what can you dodge?
I'm gonna beat your ass. Okay, so as a dodgeball player, you hear this 24/7 whenever you bring up that you play dodgeball. And it's to the point where you're literally like, no, I can't dodge a wrench. No, you say that again, I swear to God. Breaking your fucking dick. But no, it was funny the first time, but it definitely delegitimizes dodgeball as a whole. The movie is both the best thing and the worst thing to ever happen to dodgeball, because people know of dodgeball, but they think that people play in like G-strings and, you know, all these other kind of outfits and do that. It's like, no, that is not dodgeball. Dodgeball is competitive and it's fun. It's almost kind of like chess in a way. Do you guys throw wrenches? And then I go, no. Can you dodge this?
But so we're clear, he can't dodge a ball, right?
Oh no, Edward would be out like in a heartbeat if this was dodgeball. Edward, he would need to learn on his catching, but it just seems like, yeah, he just doesn't have the reflexes. You would think, being FullMetal Alchemist, the FullMetal, he would learn how to dodge stuff, but no. He can't dodge a wrench, thus he cannot dodge a ball.
There you go. It's official. At the end, though, we get to see Ed meet Bradley, and he gets schooled.
I love that. I love the fact that I love cocky. I wouldn't say Edward's a cocky punk, but I mean,
No, he is.
When you're young, I guess you're just a cocky punk no matter what. But I just love scenes where the young cocky punk thinks that he's schooled somebody who's way older than he is, probably has more battle and just fighting expertise than he does. And I just love that. He just kind of smiled, he has his eyes closed all the time. He's blind. He's a blind character. And he just like, yeah, it just didn't even notice that he cut his little sword that he made doing the claps by himself. And it was just like, where did he pull out his sword? I love that. And he didn't even turn around. He just walked away doing that little hand thing. Bye, Ed. You motherfucker.
Hey, goes to show you how strong King Bradley is, because we already seen what he did in the first episode with killing Isaac. And in this episode, he pulls his sword out so fast that Ed can't perceive it. And from the flashback we see, he's well versed in martial arts. So it's not like Ed is some weak punk bitch or something that can't fight. He knows how to fight, but this dude is on another level seemingly. And he's very casual about it, which is worry. Whenever there's somebody who's strong and they have so much security in their strength that they don't take any threat serious, you should be very afraid.
Those are always the best characters. I love those characters so much. The ones that don't even like raise their hands are some of my favorite, where they have their hands behind them the whole time and they're throwing fists and they're just dodging left and right and doing all that. Oh, so great.
That happens literally in an anime we're going to talk about, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Last thing I want to mention, Ed and Al mentioned a teacher that they show briefly that can, and Al specifically says something about the teacher being able to do the same thing that Ed can do, which is perform alchemy without a transmutation circle. So that goes to show you right then and there. Again, great storytelling. Without them even focusing on this character, we know a very important detail about this character, which is she experienced something very similar to Ed and Al.
You would say MILF.
Yeah. That's what you focus on, you heartless bastard.
We know who's going to win MILF of the year whenever it's the end of the year.
We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? Could be anyone, EA. Could be anyone.
Including Mamiko?
No.
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 All right. Another episode down, boys. If you made it this far, drop a comment with the banana emoji so we know you're one of the real ones. As well, hit that subscribe button to join the notification squad and subscribe to our respective channels to get our individual thoughts on stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.